Hey, this is Rick with Social Good Software, and this short demo I'm going to be walking you through how to use the deduper application to go into a constituent's record and detach an email address. This will also go ahead and detach the email address from the constituent and any sales orders attached to that constituent, where the sales order email address equals the same as the constituent's email address. So I'm going to head over to the deduper application here. I already have some data here that I've been playing around with. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pull in any new data that might have possibly changed here. So we'll pull in some new data, and then we'll see if we have any duplicates inside our data set. So we'll give this a minute to run. All right, looks like that finished. I'm going to head over to constituents here. I'm going to find some duplicates. I'm going to click find duplicates. Shouldn't take too long here to find those. And here we go. So far I only have one duplicate, and here's the duplicate itself. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. Alright, so here it is. We have two records. We have one here from 2018 and one from 2020 that was added today. So ideally we would like to merge these two, but for the sake of the simplicity, what we want to do here is we want to go to Richard's profile and detach this email address, and we just want to keep this record on file. You know, maybe this is Richard, a different type of Richard, and it's not Rick's actual account. They're just sharing an email address. So there's a couple of ways to do that. The new feature that we added here, remove email, we'll go ahead and remove the email from the constituent if it has sales orders or if it does not have sales orders. So if it doesn't have a sales orders, you can go inside of Altru and remove it now without any issue. The problem becomes when a constituent has 10 sales orders, then you have to go to each and every individual sales order and remove the email delivery address from each order before you can go through and remove the actual constituent email address. So let's look at this record here real quick. This is inside of Altru, and you can see here, if you go to contact, you can see here it's just that primary email address that's currently set there. So let's head back over here, and what we're going to do here is we're going to click remove email, and it's going to ask us here, hey, you know, you're about to remove the email address from this constituent record. Select the field for the email address you'd like to remove. So I just happen to know that it's the actual email address here, and I already went ahead and selected that. But if it doesn't select it for you automatically, just go ahead and just select the email address here. And we're going to click next. Now we get this warning dialog here, and you're about to remove the email address from this constituent's record. So this email address is about to get removed. So it says, warning, this action cannot be undone or restored. Please make your own local backups of any emails removed. So before you run this process, what I recommend you to do is just go back over here to the deduper and then click on download here, and then just save it as an Excel file. So you have a backup of this data just in case if you need to restore it for whatever reason it might be. So let's head back over here. So let's head over back into remove email here, and like before, we're going to select the email address, and once again let's go ahead and review this. So warning, this action cannot be undone or restored. Please make your own local backups of any emails removed. So we already made our backup, so we're good to go there. Then it says you're about to remove the email address from this constituent's record. By starting this process, you agree to the following steps. So the deduper application is going to go into Altru. It's going to query Altru to get all the email addresses attached to this record. So if we look at the record, right now there's only one email address, but if I was to add another, now there would be two email addresses. So the deduper application is going to query and get all the email addresses. So it's going to get the first one and the second one. Then it's going to verify that the primary email address attached to this record is the same as rick@saltyslopes.com. So it's going to say, hey, is this currently the primary email address? And it is. And the next thing it's going to do here is going to say query Altru for all sales orders attached to this record. So then it's going to go over to the sales orders tab, and it's going to query for all the sales orders. So currently this one doesn't have any sales orders, but if the record has sales orders, it would query each and every individual sales order to see if the primary email address has any emails attached to any of those sales orders. So check each sales order to see if rick@saltyslopes.com belongs to any of them. So again, it's going to query all the sales orders. It's going to check each sales order to see if this email address belongs to any of them. And if the delivery email address is the same as the primary email address, it's removed from the sales order. So if we had 20 different sales here and 10 of them had that primary email address, it would remove it from 10, and then the other 10 would remain with whatever email address was used to create those sales orders or the delivery information. So if more than one email address is found, one of the other email addresses will be set to the primary email address. So if we come back over here, so right now we have 2 email addresses. So once we run this process, the rick@socialgoodsoftware is the one that's going to become the primary email address, and this saltyslopes.com one is going to get removed and is no longer going to exist. So then finally, the rick@saltyslopes.com will be removed from the constituents record. So this is the final step of going through here and actually deleting this email. So that's how that works. If the information above is incorrect, the process will not complete successfully and no action will be taken. So for example, if we go query and get no emails from Altru, let's say for example someone on your team went ahead and already cleaned up this record, then the process will just simply terminate and will give you an error message letting you know that that email is no longer valid. And the same thing applies for any of these other steps. If there's any error, the process will stop and will not continue. So I agree to the steps above, and then I'm ready to remove this email address. So once you click on this remove email address, there is no going back. So you got to make sure you have that backup of your data before you go through and actually click on this remove email address button. But we already made our backup. We're happy to remove this email address now. So we're going to go ahead and remove the email address. Now this process does take a couple of minutes. So what we recommend is not to close this window. Just leave the window open and the email address will be removed. In this case, it was pretty quick because there was no sales orders that we had to go look up and remove the email address from any of those sales orders. So in some cases it might take a little bit longer, it might take less time like in this case. So just be patient and let the process run. So let's head over to the constituent record and let's check it out and let's see if it worked. So we're going to refresh this page. And then here we are. As you can see here, the contact information is just rick@socialgoodsoftware, and the old email address was completely removed. So that's great. At this point, we have detached that primary email address, and we're pretty much done with that process. And this is kind of how it works. That's going to go ahead and do it here for me. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're really excited to bring this new feature available for you. So we'll probably save you tons of time removing those email addresses from sales orders. And if you have any suggestions on how we can improve this or make this better, you're more than welcome to share that feedback with us. Just simply go to socialgoodsoftware.com/feedback. So that's going to do it here for me, and I look forward to talking to you in the next one.